Hello Sexy. Now because I didn't think it was good enough to be a homosexual, working class, anti-austerity, anti-Tory, loony lefty, I thought I'd become a job seeker as well, so the Daily Mail hate me so much that they might attempt to take my life. So yeah, because of the nature of my job, sometimes I have weeks off between contracts, and I thought, when I'm having a week off, I'm gonna have some job seekers, because I'm seeking a job, I pay my taxes, give me some of that ched. Now this isn't the first time I've ever signed on in my life. I signed on back in the day when I was a teenager. Back then, I was signing on due to being working class and quite poor. Now I'm signing on due to stupidity, because I make enough money to have saved some money for a rainy day. I don't save money. I spend my money on things like snazzy shirts and fucking fairy lights and Tetris lamps. So I went through the frankly unnecessarily long process online of signing up for job seekers. Then I went to find my job centre. I discovered my job centre is about 10 seconds from my house. So then I sit down, a woman comes over, she starts reading out names, right? She reads out all these people's names. Graham comes up, Mr. Graham, that's me. I get up, I go, hello, right, come on then. She takes me over to another set of sofas and I sit down again. At this point she comes over and everyone's sitting there. She reads out the same list of names, right? Nobody responds. Okay, it's been another 2 minutes, she's given me a form to quickly fill in. Fine, another 2 minutes, she comes over, reads the same names again. Obviously not Graham, she's crossed that off. I've stood up, I'm there, she's crossed me off. She's still reading out all the others. And she does this about 4 times, and I think you can see that nobody else has turned up. These people are not coming. You know they're not here, you've read it out 4 times, they're not here. These people aren't coming, you are aware of this, why do you keep reading out the same names? Try a new list. She doesn't do that, she does it again, she reads out the same names. Then, to my horror, the man sitting next to me responds. He's Mr. Robinson. He's Mr. Robinson. He's not said anything. 4 times! He's not said anything. These are the people that are at the job centre. So I'm sitting there on the sofas with Mr. Robinson and the gang, and we're all having a nice time, and I'm thinking, I don't know what's going to happen now. I hope I don't have to talk to a man. I don't like talking to men. I can't be bothered with all that masculinity bullshit. But women are just easier to speak to, and I expect it's the opposite way around for women, because you don't want that whole sort of competitive thing and them trying to sort of assert their authority on you and be the better man or better woman. It's better to have the opposite. So I much prefer being interviewed by women, and I wanted this to be a woman. It was a woman. I was very pleased. Over she came. She took me over to her desk. We sat down. I realised it's not actually as good as I was hoping with the woman, because the feminine sort of stance that she took was that of a headmistress. She was being incredibly stern and treating me as if I have never had a job in my life and I sort of kick puppies for a living. Well, not for a living. I'm on job seekers. It's certainly not making me any money if I'm kicking puppies. So we start off on shaky ground. She's unpleasant and I'm sort of getting a bad vibe from her, and I'm thinking, listen love, I'm not going to take any of your shit. I've had a job for the last 5 years or so. I'm doing pretty well in my own profession. I'm having a nice time. It's just a few weeks off and I just want a bit of your money while I'm looking. You ain't treating me like any other job seeker. So I'm being very nice to her. I'm giving her, you know, some politeness. I'm giving her, you know, I'm proving to her I'm a nice young man. I'm not some scrounger. I'm a nice human being. And it wins her around. She starts being a lot nicer. I tell her about the Facebook groups, I tell her about Talent Manager, tell her about all these ways I can find a job. She seems interested, she's all excited. She's like, oh, digital media, she loves it. Then a bad thing happens, a really bad thing. She starts mentioning signatures. Now, when anyone mentions signatures, I get a bit worried, because my signature is not okay. It looks different on every single thing I own. It's really bad. It would be impossible for anyone to forge, that's a good thing. But annoyingly, I couldn't even forge it. I can't do it. It's no good, right? They've got this machine. She said, don't worry, we won't need to sign any paper, we've got this machine. I thought, okay, that sounds great. It sounds like, you know, this is going to be okay. You know when you sign for a package and sometimes it doesn't work properly and you just literally draw like a line and they go, yeah, that's fine. And you think, is this security measure necessary when I've just drawn? Anyone could have done that. Anyway, she had one of those machines. She did, she had one. She said, now you're going to use its signature 6 times, and then we're going to use those 6 for whenever you come in, you do that signature, it should match one of the 6. And I thought, it won't. It's not going to match one of the 6. I could tell. I told her it. So I was laughing, I couldn't help it. I do my first signature, right? Here we go. I'm going to do it now for you. That's pretty much what it looks like. It's atrocious. It's awful. There's a weird J at the front that's just basically a squiggle. I do a dot. I write Graham in a really squiggly way that basically doesn't represent Graham in the slightest, right? I do that. She gives me a look. She thinks we'll go with it. She was like, okay, number 2. So I do number 2, right? It looks a bit like that, right? Completely different, really, completely different. She says to me, we're going to try that one again so it looks a bit more like the first one. And I think, we're going to try a lot of them again, love, because they're never going to look the same, right? Okay, I do another one. Look, this is honestly, I'm trying to do the same thing. Even now, I'm trying. I'm not doing this on purpose for the sake of the video. I promise you. This is what it was like. Okay? She accepted that one. She was like, okay, right, let's do number 3. She thought, oh, maybe he'll, you know, number 3 will be the same. No, it looks like that. Different again. It's just a squiggle. They're never going to look the same, right? We do this about 12 times. I'm supposed to do 6. She tries it 12. She gets her final 6 that she's slightly happy with. She goes, oh, now let's try it as if you've come in next week. Let's try to match up one of those 6, right? I go, I don't think it's going to match up. She says, okay, let's just try. So there I go. I do something like that, right? Literally, it's the worst one so far. It's not that. That's the worst one so far. But it wasn't that bad. But it was bad enough that it did not match any of the 6. She's annoyed. She's like, okay, we're going to have to do it a different way. Apparently, she's got some secret formula that she can sign me off anyway without having to do that. I thought we should have just done that in the first place. Then she explains to me that the way they now check that you're looking for work is on a website. You don't write it in your little book anymore. They've got rid of the book. It's one of the most famous things about job seekers, isn't it? They got rid of it. They don't care for it anymore. You do it online. You open your little jobs match, jobs centre, universal job match, I think it's called. You open it up there. So they give you a bit of paper, right? A big sort of sheet of paper to tell you how to sign up to the website. And at the bottom of this page, there's these boxes, and she says you can tick these boxes. It means we can see what you're doing to find work. You don't have to tick them, which I'm just giving you the option. You can tick them or not. I would suggest you tick them, otherwise we can't see what you've been doing. You can keep it secret. I thought, why would I want to keep it secret? Like I've been going on there and secretly applying to be a penis inspector or something. If I'm going to be typing penis inspector into any website, it's not going to be universal job match.